I'm so thrilled to be here today. And thank you, Webflow, for giving this opportunity to LottieFiles. I'm Celsi. I'm a brand manager at LottieFiles. And maybe some of you already know or use LottieFiles, either plugin or like our free animations. Any of you? Probably. Oh, nice. And any of you never heard about LottieFiles or not so familiar with it? Oh, nice. Kind of familiar. Yay! Yeah, so LottieFiles, a lot of people know that LottieFiles offers a lot of free animation, but actually we're much more than that. It's a motion ecosystem. What does it mean, like motion ecosystem?
In a world where design sets the stage, every pixel matters. Great designers understand the power of motion. Join over 8 million designers and 280,000 teams who've elevated their designs with LottieFiles. Crystallize your vision to reality and embracing the vibrant language of animation. Create a Lottie with ease using the platform of your choice, be it Adobe After Effects, Figma, or the intuitive Lottie Creator. Experience unparalleled collaboration within your team. From initial concept, personalization, optimization, and final deployment. Motion workflows simplified for designers, developers, and teams. LottieFiles integrates with every popular design tool out there. Join the global community that celebrates creativity and joy in every design. Ready to elevate your designs with motion? Think motion. Think LottieFiles.
Oops. So yeah, why do designers love Lottie animation? We were actually really thrilled yesterday when we heard that Webflow is acquiring GSAP, which is a lot more leaning towards a developer's user. But if you're a designer, that might be a bit too intimidating, or like it might be too difficult, or the learning curve is pretty big for you. So LottieFiles offers a lot of plugins, a lot of integration, and a lot of gateway for you to enter the world of animation. So let's say if you never create an animation, by the end of this workshop, we all really hope that everyone coming out from this room having their animation ready in their computer. So the first thing about animation is that I think everyone loves sending each other's memes, especially to your friends, to your family. Like things that are moving are really cute and it's always catching your eyes. That means that it increases engagement. So the engagement between the screen and your eyes is getting higher. So when it's higher, then it's likely to convert because you want to stay longer there because it interests you, it makes you happy, it makes you feel loved, it makes you feel something. And when it increases the conversion, then it, of course, it makes your product better. And what Lottie animation is really good about is that it supports interactivity, and it's also personalized, meaning that it's very easy for you to edit, for you to change the color, for you to grab the JSON file or .lottie and then put it into your Webflow site, and etc. And what is a Lottie? So, for instance, this animation, if it's in GIF, the size of the animation is 128 kilobyte. And Lottie JSON have it 31. And then .lottie is even smaller, it's 8 kilobyte. So can you imagine if you're working on a project that's using like probably 100 of animation, so you're gonna save a lot of bandwidth. So that's gonna make your developer really happy and gonna make your product loads a lot faster. So that gives you a lot of advantage. So LottieFiles is an ecosystem for you to create, to collaborate, to implement. So today we're gonna cover the create and implement part, where you can create animation really quickly using Figma to Lottie, and then after that implement it using Webflow. If you're familiar with Adobe After Effects, we have the plugin. If you're familiar with Figma plugin, we're going to do it today. And then we also have the Lottie Creator. I don't know why it doesn't come out. All right. And you can collaborate seamlessly at LottieFiles, meaning we have our workspace where you can have a private workspace with your teammate, and you can have your file size optimized, and then you can hand off to your developers, and your developers will be able to get all the code that they need. And then lastly, we have a Lottie color palette where you can set your brand color. So let's say you find like animation that you really like at the public library, but then you were like, nah, that doesn't really fit with my brand, right? I want to change the color. I want to take out the flower. I want to take out the tree. You want to do editing to that animation. You can do that in this workspace. So we're going to learn on how to create an animation in Figma. But before that, I'm just going to play this very short video. Oops. All right. So we're going to do this. We're going to create our animation. And you can click on this link. And you will be able to access a Figma file. Then we're going to go straight to it. Oops, sorry, yes. It's lottie.link/webflowconf. No worries. Everyone got the link? Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to go through very quick on plugin installation and overview. If you're very familiar with Figma, of course, you know where to find a plugin. But if you don't worry, I'll go through it one by one. You can click on this icon, click on plugin, and then find LottieFiles. So when you run the plugin, usually they'll ask you to sign in or sign up. You can just put in your email. Then you'll be able to use the plugin right away. I'll just open it now. So we have 4 different tabs in the plugin, which is Discover, Workspaces, Export to Lottie, and then Tools. So in Discover, this is where you will find the free animations or premium animation. And then Workspaces is where you're going to find the animation that you uploaded to your private animation library, or the shared animation that's probably you're sharing it with other company or like the third party that work with you. And then the third one is the export to Lottie. This is where the magic gonna happen. You can create a single frame animation, you can create a multiple frame animation, prototype flow animation, and etc. And lastly, the tools is where you can put AI prompt to vector, raster to vector, or also import your JSON animation directly into Figma. All right, so the AI tools is that where you can actually put an image. Let's say you like an icon that you screen grab from someone's website, and then you screen capture it, and you like that raster image, right? And then this is where you can turn it into a vector. And also, you can put a prompt, for instance, like mandala, coloring page, clean lines, bright colors. You can put in your prompt, and then you can generate an image. Also, you can insert the JSON animation that probably your friend created, and then they share it with you, and then you can just drag and drop. Yeah, so this is the plugin. And then you can also recolor, save your animation to the workspace, and insert it back into Figma as SVG or GIF. Oops. Where are we? Oh, guys, don't steal it. It's gone. Anyone take anything from here? Oh, thanks. I was like, what? All right. Let's get started. So we have these 2 frames that are ready for you to animate. We have this fingerprint. You can just click on the frame, and then make sure that you hit Export to Lottie. Then you can just click Export to Lottie. And my favorite about this is that we can use trim path so that it will animate that follows the line. But then I can't really see the animation. The visual is, the line is in white, and then it has that transparent background. Don't worry, we can change the background so that you can see the animation. So with trim path, you're gonna get this animation like within seconds. And you can have a control over the animation speed as well. So if you think, oh, this is a bit too slow, you can change it to like 2 times faster, or like you can change also the duration of the animation, meaning like the bigger the number, then the animation will be longer. And then you can also set the start delay, the end delay, even the layer animation if you want it sequential or parallel. This usually works for like a pulse animation, if you want it to be like pulsing together, or if you want to have like 3 different layers animating one by one. So that's the fingerprint. Now you have your first animation. And then let's try another one. Okay, let's try another trim path. So if you like the cursive, animation of if you're working on, I don't know, like a burger joint that needs this cursive animation, that you can use this, and it will animate your cursive letters really, really quickly. So yeah, we're done with the single frame. You can use and try any visuals. Feel free to put it here, like your tryout. Don't be shy. I'm gonna go to the multiple frame text and gradients. So our LottieFiles plugin also support text and gradient. For instance, I'm gonna show you this. So let's say I have this imaginary business called Radio Act. I'm selling radio, and then I need a banner that shows it has like 10% off, and I want to have that shiny effect in that banner. So how are we going to do that? So instead of using 1 frame, we are using 4 frames over here. Why? Because we want to have that movement from the left to right. And there is one tip that you need to remember when you're working on gradient. All frames should contain the same number of gradient steps. So if you see over here, the first and then the 4th frame, they're looking like it's using solid, but it's actually not. It's actually using gradient colors. So if you click on the frame and then click on the selection color, see over here, I actually have 3 gradient stops, but I want it to be solid. So I made sure that all these 3 color code are the same. Then I want to have that, shiny effect. How do I do that? If we go to the 2nd frame, we're going to move a little bit to the side and then change the color. Make it a bit lighter. And let's say I want to move it to the middle, not so much to the side. So this is really up to your preference, how you want it to look like. And then the 4th one, you bring it back to all orange. So yeah, that's how we're gonna do the text and gradient. But what is this? Okay, so the prototype setting in Figma, we are building our plugin actually based on the Smart Animate feature on Figma. So if you see over here, I'm just gonna recreate it. So you can also copy this frame and then do it together with me below here. I'm just gonna copy my first frame and then second frame. So this is fill, and it's solid, and it's wrong, because I want to do it as a gradient. So I'm changing it to gradient. Okay, and then I'm gonna add another steps. I'm gonna add another gradient stops, but putting it all the way to the left. Sorry. And then this one. Let's just get something that's a bit lighter. And then let's move it to the right. Lastly, we want to make sure all are looking solid. Okay, after we are done with creating the visual, what we need to do is that we need to change this to a prototype, and then click on the first frame, connect it to the second frame. And then over here, you will see animation, and then there are many options, but you can choose a Smart Animate. You can also choose a custom spring, where it's going to be quite bouncy, but in this case, we don't really need it because it's a gradient. So you can just use ease out 300. I'm going to use another ease out. Same with this one. And I'm going to string it back to the first frame. So we are done with this. And if you notice, there is this label. It's called Flow 2. What we need to do is that we run the plugin. Instead of clicking export to Lottie, and it won't be available because you're already creating a prototype visual, you need to click on this button. Then you already have your animation. So you can save it to your workspace or insert it back as a GIF, or there's another option to insert it as an SVG as well, or even changing the background color and the animation speed. And now we're gonna go to LottieFiles for Webflow. So we have this brand called Smooth. It's an app that's gonna help you to move smoothly, because you can order your boxes, schedule pickup, done and dusted. And then we realized that a lot of time when we work for a brand, motion is always like the last leg that you would think about, right? It's always like, oh, we will put in motion later, because it's just a delight. But actually, it's not. Because if you see like Headspace, for instance, if you're using Headspace, motion is everything that they use in their app, because it really helps you to feel the mindfulness of the brand. And if you see like Google, they're moving like really snappy, really fast, they're really innovative, and it really translates through their movement. So if a brand is a person, motion is how this person is moving. If the color palette is like the clothes that they're wearing, or like the typography is like the way that they speak, motion is the way they move. So we want to make this website fun, but also functional at the same time. So we will have something delightful on the top. We will show you how to do like animate on hover, and then we will show you, let's say you need an animation to show how the UI look like. We will show you here. And then over here also like, okay, we got a CTA. Usually people don't go down far to the CTA, and how to make the CTA look a lot more engaging and make it relatable to the user. So we're gonna try to create this, this animation here. It's, so if you inspect here, these are actually two objects, the boxes, and then the open box inserted into one single frame, right? And then the animation is going to look like this. Smooth button, where is it? Okay. I know that a lot of product designers love toggle buttons, and actually you can do a lot to this. Like you can change, like the outline of the button. You can change the color of the button. If you want it to be like gradient, you can change the color of the gradient, and you can change the object as well. But if you want to have the object as though it's morphing, then you will have to do that. You have to put these two objects in one frame and then slide it to the side and then change the opacity of it. And then the same with the text. From learn more to let's go, both of it should be within the same frame, and then one of it should be in 0 opacity, and then the other one is in 100. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move to Webflow. So if you open this link, webflow.com, made in Webflow, websites, move it, you'll be able to see the build that our colleague has prepared. Then we're going to insert the animation together. So all the animation that's inside this page were already made public, so everyone in this room can access it. So if you run the plugin, you just need to type in smooth, space dash, and then you will find the animation. Okay. So let's go to Webflow. Everyone already on Webflow? All good? Cool. So yeah, I'm going to give like a very quick introduction to the plugin. So if you click on the app, LottieFiles for Webflow, launch the app. So it's similar with the Figma plugin. We have Discover, and we also have Workspaces. So Discover, this is free animation. You can use it. You can change the color. I'm just going to show you, like, let's say I want to insert this funny animation, right? Just click Insert Animation. Oops. So yeah, we already have the animation over here, but we're not going to do this one. We're going to come to our workspace. If your animation is only available to your workspace. But as I said before, the smooth animations are available to everyone here. So you can just click smooth and then space dash, and then you will find it. Okay, so we're going to insert the first animation. Okay, an element needs to be selected. Don't forget about that. All right, let's see how it looks. It's too small. So of course you will have control over here to change like the margin, the position. For instance, we want the width to be like, let's say 200%, and then let's put the height as auto. Because we want to make sure that that truck is going to the right side. Okay, and then we want to insert another one. We have it pre-made over here, which is a Lottie container. And then you need to run the plugin again. Then we can type in smooth. Okay, we have this button. Then insert animation. All right. So this doesn't look right because I want it to be, we want it to be aligned with the left grid of this page. So what we can do, go back to the style, play with the margin. I think that's good. And then we can play it again. But now everything is moving. I don't want everything to move right now. Like I want it just the hero animation is playing, but then the button is like on hover, so it will animate only when you hover on it. How are we gonna do that? It's very easy. So just click on the smooth button, the animation. So if you go to your navigator, click on the animation itself, and then click on the interaction. And then there is an element trigger. So you can choose mouse hover. Then select an action. You can click on Lottie playback. And then this is on hover, Lottie playback, and then on hover out. Again, Lottie playback, but click on reverse. Then we're gonna try this. So now the button is not animating, but when we hover, it animates. So that's how you can do animate on hover. Okay, we go to the next one. So over here, we want to create like a parallax animation of that cards that you see. Let's go back again to the apps, LottieFiles for Webflow. And we already have this pre-made. This is section 2. And then we have it pre-made as UI schedule is the one below, UI insurance is the one on the right side, and UI box wrapper is the one on the left side. How are we gonna do that? Okay, we have the schedule over here. You can insert the animation. Then of course you can adjust the sizing. Maybe put it 320 so that it overlaps a little bit with the phone. And then I want to go to the next, which is the UI insurance, is the one on the right side. Click on this is actually a div block. So if you wonder what is this under the container, it's a div block. UI insurance, where is the insurance here? Then insert animation. Okay, we're good with that. And then we're gonna do the third one, which is the UI box. Click on the wrapper and then insert animation. Okay. All right, we have these three. Then what we should do is that we select on the section, because we want the parallax is correspond to the fold, to your page. So we don't select the single animation. Instead, we are selecting the whole section. So this is the section 2, and then we click on the interaction, and then plus on the page trigger. Oh, sorry, the element trigger while scrolling in view. And then there is a parallax scroll effect. Select on that one. We have already the pre-made on the image so that it's scaling down when you scroll. But we want to add another one for these. So what we need to do is that click on it. And then you can move, you can scale, you can rotate. Really depends on what you like, but your Lottie animation will still be playing. So parallax, it's not just for static image, but you can also apply Lottie for parallax as well. So if I click on move, what is it? Box. Let's say, and it will show this warning sign because you haven't inserted the value, and it should have like two, you should put 2 indicator because it has to, you have to indicate when it starts and when it ends. So it can start not only at 0%. You can decide, I want to start when people scroll at 20%. That also works. Or you want to start when people scroll at 65%, let's say. And then it ends at 100 or like 80. It really depends on your design. Okay, and then we're going to move it down really far. Okay, 500. And then I'm going to duplicate this, but I'll bring it to 100. No, actually, it's 65. That's better. Okay. And then I want it to reach here by 65% when we scroll. Okay, that's for the box. And then let's do the pickup one. We just need to click on the plus, again, move, and change the value over here. And then duplicate it. And then change the value at 65%. And you will do the same with the insurance as well. Okay, put it really far. Oops. Then change it. Yeah. Let's try. Okay. So we have this, and then we have animate on hover, and then yeah, it's moving, but probably it's you need to do an adjustment, because sometimes when it's like a 20%, you're actually just seeing like 20% of the page, so you don't really see what's going on there. So I like to usually put it after 50%, so at least after half you're scrolling the fold, then you will start to see it moving. So it really takes you need to try it out. You need to know like how far your user gonna scroll, and then what kind of visual is inside. It really depends on that. Okay. I got 8 minutes left, so it's gonna be fast. The last one is the CTA over here. So let's say that we have this animation that this guy was like trying to push the cabinet to the side, right? And then you were like, no, actually I want it to be like, he moved, and then he moved a lot more to the side. So instead of asking your animator to change the animation, you can actually, using the same exact approach, to move your animation from right to like far right. Okay. So what we need to do over here is that click on the section 5. Again, while scrolling in view, we have the section 5 scroll. Over here, we already have it pre-made. So this is move CTA. If you see over here, oops. If you see over here, the value was -80, and then once you scroll down at 84%, then it will be coming 40 pixel. So it will help you to move your animation even better, like really depending on your design. But in this case, it was really funny, because when we were creating this landing page, the animator was like, hey, I can only do that because it requires like a lot of ridging for the feet, to animate the feet, right? And then we were like, hey, don't worry, because we can utilize Webflow features. So if you need to move it even forward, you can just use the scroll action. Yeah, so that's it for the demo on Webflow. I think it's time for Q&A. Anyone?
I was wondering, could you show the final result of the CTA at the bottom?
Yeah. Okay, it was, wait, from here, again, this needs a bit of adjustment. But if you scroll, then this guy is like moving a lot more to the side. Yeah, but again, you can adjust. For instance, like if you want, this is probably a 30% or 40%. If you want this guy to be here, then you will have to put the value a lot more, like minus, right? And then if you want you want him to be like out of the frame, then you need to adjust the value as well. Yeah, but that's kind of like you need to try it out and like, oh, it needs to be on the left or to the right. Yeah. Welcome. Any other? Question, suggestion? So quiet.
I'm sure the team at Lottie is familiar with the upcoming competitor Rive. What has Lottie done to kind of combat this new node-based animation interactive piece? And does Lottie have anything planned or? Yeah.
I think a lot of people ask us about Rive, and we actually don't really think it's like a competitors. It's like it just feels like we're jogging together, you know, like we're participating in making motion accessible. And I think what's setting us apart from other brands is that we're focusing on the ecosystem, meaning that we're focusing on the people that are working together for motion. So it's not just product designers, it's not just animators or like visual designers or motion designers. We're focusing on everyone that works together to make motion happen in your product and making sure that that's seamless. So it's not, we're not focusing on like one specific thing, on like one specific persona. Yeah, we don't do that. And I think our team is actually currently working on .Lottie format, if any of you have heard about it. .Lottie format supports interactivity, theming, and it's so much more powerful than JSON file. Yeah, we can explain more after this call. Not this call, sorry. This is a working from home thing, you know, after this call, after this workshop. But yeah, we're working on .Lottie, and that's going to be the format that we hope will answer the struggle that faced by the developers. Yeah, I hope that answers. Thank you. If not, we're going to end the call. All good? Okay. Last but not least, it's we got another video. Yeah. Last but not least, we just launched LottieFiles for Webflow certification yesterday. If you're curious what it is, just gonna play the video, and then you can reach out to me or to Christine. She's here. She's our head of marketing. Yeah, after this call, you can reach out to us and yeah, ask us for anything really, like design, motion, coffee, anything.
Hey, Webflow designer. Your website's good, but what if it could be mind-blowing? Imagine your site coming alive. Elements gliding, fading, sparking, and transforming with every scroll, creating interactions that engage visitors and keep them coming back. With LottieFiles for Webflow, every click and scroll becomes a moment of delight, pushing what's possible to the edge. In under 30 minutes, the LottieFiles for Webflow certification transforms you into an animation pro. Join Jesse Showalter to learn how to create animations using Figma and Lottie Creator. Plus, save countless hours with AI and discover tricks that add a touch of interactivity, bringing some motion magic to Webflow. Ready to transform your web designs? Welcome to LottieFiles for Webflow certification.
So thank you everyone for today.